In today's video, I'm going to explain how our negative thoughts, subconscious beliefs, and conditioning create the narrative that we call our life, and how this accumulation of energy dictates our vibrational attraction, thereby manifesting in our physical body. And in a few minutes, I will share with you some of the modalities that I used that freed me from my own pain body and the tale I was authoring. But first, as a disclosure, this content is not a substitute for real medical intervention. You should always seek professional care if you are in need of it and are guided to do so. That being said, if you are currently suffering from the pain, discomfort, disease, chronic illness, and stress that has taken up residence inside of your body for months, years, and possibly decades, and yes, even after you've done all the research, advocated for yourself, seen all the specialists, had the MRIs, took the pills, still leading to unacceptable outcomes and unanswered prayers, while your health and well-being continue to plummet, then the time has come to redirect your focus away from your physical body and on to your emotional one. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Izzy, your soul energy alchemist, and I'm here to help you embrace your IZ-NESS. See, you are created as a three-part being: mind, body, and soul. And your mind-body connection is a fear-based, addictive, polarized energy. And they work in tandem in this 3D realm that makes up your emotional body, which is the accumulation of thoughts and belief systems, unprocessed trauma, and abuse that have been encoded, absorbed, and interpreted into your DNA, chemically altering the physical effects within. See, your body holds on to energy the same as an old house would. You know, I here live in a really cool loft, and it is a refurbished 1900s, that very year, schoolhouse. So when you walk in, it's like being in 5th grade, and it's really cool. It's got the original doors, and in this house, as you can see, this wall behind me, that is the original brick. And what I want to say about that is I'm here 12 years, and first few years, and this is going to align with my awakening process, but the first few years when my energy wasn't as alchemized and I was much more on the imbalanced side of the fear-based energy, I experienced some things, and none of it was ominous. None of it made us want to leave or split in the middle of the night. But this house was a schoolhouse, like I said, and this apartment, this loft, was a classroom. And in the first about 4 years of the 12-year period, I would be sitting on the couch right here, and every night about 11 o'clock, I would just be, watching TV, and then all of a sudden I'd hear like la la la, like kids, like children. It had a very London Bridge type of haunting sound, and it was the kind of thing where I'm watching TV and they would go, and I would be like this, because it was that obvious, but it was very like ethereal. It wasn't it was just la 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 in the air. And where my loft is, at the corner of the building where there is no neighbors, the neighbor above me at the time was 85, I think, and the neighbors next to me had no children, and nothing else was around me. And whether my daughter it was always coming from my daughter's room, and whether she was home or not, it would still happen. And I would investigate. I had cups against the wall. I had all these different things that would open doors. And where is this coming from? Long story short, as the energy became more balanced and, more love energy came in, that now was gone. But that wasn't the only thing. There were times where I could be talking to someone in my house and you would see a black shadow just kind of pass, I never went to bed in fear. Nobody came up to me and said this is happening to me. And then I had a psychic friend who I hadn't seen in years mention a full-length mirror that I have right here in my hallway, in my bathroom foyer. And she said to me that I need to cover it or turn it around because it's a portal. And I remember saying, well, it's not really, I love my mirror. It's really cool. I'm like, I'm not going to cover it because I didn't feel anything, scary. So fast forward real quick. A friend of mine came to scare my daughter. He had a Michael Myers mask, and she was only 12. And that was the year that she started watching Halloween. She was about 12. And he came over and he scared her. He was running around, and I'm filming them. Now, I'm standing in my daughter's doorway of her room, and right next to that door is that mirror that I was told had the portal. And you could see on the video as I'm filming them in this living room from there, all of a sudden orbs start pouring out of the mirror. And then people commented on Facebook because I posted it, and then my psychic friend said, you have orbs, but she didn't know that it was coming from that mirror. So when I told her, she's like, I'm telling you, blah, 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 blah. So, and now I experience nothing. But my point is that these original walls and the brick here, that holds energy. And, like an old house does, like your body is your house and it holds the energy. And you have to relate it to something because people think how it's possible. But as you can tell, this is an example of how possible that is. Now, this energy in your body can show up as heart disease, obesity, eczema, fear of intimacy, and everything in between, evidencing the contrast happening inside of us. Our body is always communicating the state of health it is presently living. And today we are blessed to have many tools that can help guide us inward and take a closer look. In holistic medicine, practitioners use reflexology and acupuncture to determine where our disproportion makes its home. We have energy healers now and alchemists like ourselves now able to go beyond traditional processes. Each of our chakras house different organs and represent certain aspects of who we are as a being. For me, every issue I had in both my life's expression and my health was a direct reflection of the imbalance within my solar plexus chakra. But make no mistake, it's easier to stave off illness than it is once it becomes, pathological. And you always have the power to change its course, halt its progression, and heal yourself with the alchemization of your emotional body by manipulating energy. And because we have been giving our power away for so long, we resign to what is. And we bury, and we bury, and we bury, but we never feel. And that is how the energy remains as is, passed on and regurgitated over and over again, thus affecting our generational and ancestral history. And for comparison, you can Google this, but your grandmother, had your mother, she was pregnant with your mother had already in her body the eggs that are you. So you have 3 generations going on in the present, in a present moment. And that's how ancestral and generational trauma transfers throughout, okay? And a story, I mention my spinal injury often, but there is a backstory to that. And my whole life, my great aunts and my grandmother, they couldn't walk late in life. So mid 60s, late 60s, they started to physically lose their ability to walk. And so in my head, all these years I thought that I'm not having that. I'm not going to not walk. I'm walking till, you want to start to speak how you want things to be. Now, my spinal injury happened in 2019 and I didn't have my ability to walk. I could have easily fallen into this is it. And I could have, stopped walking at 51 years old. But I changed the narrative. I changed the thought. I took the action based on that thought, and just, kept going and going with that. And unfortunately, in my mother's case, she's now older, but at 72, she had to go into a nursing home because she couldn't care for herself anymore. And she's in a wheelchair. And my mother, unfortunately, lacks a huge amount of self-love and compassion and grace for herself. And so, growing up, her talk, and even till this day, I have to, coach her. Her talk is working against her, basically. So you have someone like her who's the example of the thought process and the, this is, how it's going to be. And someone like me who's had a similar situation, but has changed the thought narrative and stuff. So those are the two things. And I have begun to change the generational story. And see, the only way for our inner light to transmute the fear is by bringing our attention back into our body and what we're feeling and away from what is happening externally, by doing this as the witness and observer of your thoughts, okay? Your thoughts are here. And we do that so we may dissolve the polarity and journey back to who we always were, a soul. And since the onset of my awakening, I've incorporated many mindfulness behaviors into my daily routine and a fondness for a more Zen lifestyle emerged for me. And passive and active styles of meditation have changed my life, so much so that I became a certified teacher in this space. I use breath work to aid in optimal, health and longevity. For me, incorporating arts like Tai Chi and yoga were a game changer. So you will also notice that your psychic gifts and intuition strengthen. And then you want to prioritize your solitude and introspection as you gain a sense of purpose to serve yourself and others. Some of the books I've read, which I recommend highly, The Body Keeps the Score by Besser Vanderkolk. And the book really dives deeper into what I'm explaining today. And also, Louise Hay of Hay House has a book called Heal Your Body. And she gets even more technical with, what is happening if you have a pain in your side. So those two books are great for this topic. And, as your journey unfolds, the more you surrender and let go to the process, allowing your soul to move you through the pain with love, the light you already embody begins to overtake the fear. replacing worry and unease with peace and comfort, bringing our mind and body into alignment, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Okay, guys, that's a wrap. If you dig my vibe, please like and subscribe. Show gratitude for this day, and always do everything from your badass rock and roll heart. Until next time, I thank you.